I wrote Assets in the Poor as a complement to the traditional social policy, which is income support. So I wrote the book to say that possibly we could structure some of social policy around savings and building assets instead of monthly income support. In Assets in the Poor, I proposed something called individual development accounts. And the idea for individual development accounts was that really a universal policy, everyone would have this account, money would accumulate in the account, and it would be progressive so that lower income families would get matches for their saving so that they could accumulate resources that they're not able to do at present. That specific proposal was a little bit of a reaction to the current strategy that we have for asset accumulation, and because we already do have asset building policies, but not for low income people. So people like you and I have some kind of 401k or equivalent policy where we're accumulating money and our employer is matching and the government gives us a tax subsidy. The tax subsidy part is really a social policy because the public is supporting really additional asset accumulation in our accounts. But because not everyone has access to a 401k, lower income people don't get this benefit. So the idea for individual development accounts, the original idea was a kind of really 401k for everybody that begins at birth. That was really what the original proposal was about. Singapore actually has the most extensive asset building policy. So they've been doing this for quite a long time, really, with adults. Since Assets in the Poor was published, they have also begun to implement more accounts for children. So now in Singapore, newborns have access to a savings deposit of equivalent of several thousand US dollars and several more thousand as they're growing up. So really quite substantial investments in young people. These accounts in Singapore are targeted toward human capital development, education, extra courses, music lessons, strategies that can help develop children for their potential to be educated and productive. We're testing a universal children's account now in the state of Oklahoma. It's called Seed for Oklahoma Kids, or Seed OK. So randomly working with the state of Oklahoma, we've created accounts and deposited initial $1,000 in the accounts of 1,400 Oklahoma babies. And we're following them and 1,400 controls. It's experimental conditions, very scientific, of testing randomly. Some people get the accounts, some people don't. So we're seeing how assets can accumulate in these accounts. We'll be testing whether parents begin to think differently about the opportunities for education for their children if these accounts exist. We'll be able to test along the way whether children start to do better in school or not if they have an account. Hopefully someone will test whether these are college savings accounts, so hopefully someone will test whether they go to college in greater numbers a few years from now.